When everything fell apart, she didn't scream, she didn't beg. She simply stood there holding the silence. Her name was Elena. At 32, she had lost more in 1 year than most people lose in a lifetime. Her marriage ended quietly, no shouting, no dramatic fight, just a sentence spoken without emotion. "I don't feel the same anymore." Her husband left with 2 suitcases and a promise that faded before it reached the door. A month later, the company she had given 10 loyal years to shut down. No warning, no goodbye. And when she needed people the most, friends stopped calling. Family grew distant. The world moved on. Everyone walked away. Everyone except her faith. At first, Elena didn't know how to pray anymore. She would sit on the edge of her bed at night, staring at the wall, whispering words that felt empty. "Please just help me understand." But there was no instant miracle, no sudden happiness, just quiet mornings and long nights. She sold her car, moved into a small apartment with thin walls and creaky floors. Every box she unpacked felt like proof of how far she had fallen. Some nights, she cried herself to sleep. Other nights, she didn't cry at all, and that scared her more. One evening, after another rejection email from a job application, Elena walked into a small church near her apartment, not because she was strong, but because she was tired of being strong alone. She sat in the last row, didn't sing, didn't speak. She just listened. The speaker said something simple that night. "Faith doesn't mean everything will be okay. It means you believe even when it isn't." That sentence stayed with her. Elena began rebuilding slowly, not her life or herself. She started waking up early, making her bed, writing one thing she was grateful for every morning even when it felt forced. Some days she wrote, "I'm grateful I got out of bed," and that was enough. She volunteered at a community center, helping organize donated books. It didn't pay money, but it gave her purpose. And that's where she met Daniel. Daniel was quiet, kind in a way that didn't demand attention. He volunteered every Saturday, stacking shelves, fixing broken chairs, never asking for praise. They spoke at first only in small sentences. "Good morning, need help with that? See you next week." No sparks, no drama, just peace. And after months of chaos, peace felt unfamiliar but safe. One rainy afternoon, the power went out at the center. They sat on the floor, surrounded by boxes of books, laughing softly as thunder rolled outside. Daniel told her about his past, a failed engagement, years of bitterness, how he had lost his way and found it again through faith. Elena listened, surprised by how much she related. For the first time in a long while, she spoke honestly about the divorce, the job, the nights she questioned her worth. Daniel didn't interrupt. He just said, "You didn't lose your value. You lost people who couldn't see it." Something inside her healed at that moment. Their connection grew slowly. No promises, no pressure, just shared coffee after volunteering, long walks, quiet prayers spoken, separately but felt together. Elena was afraid. She had trusted before, and it had broken her. One night, she whispered into the darkness, "God, I'm scared to hope again." And in that stillness, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Peace, not certainty, not answers, just peace. Months later, Elena received a job offer. Not her old position, not her old salary, but something better. A role where she felt valued, respected. On her first day, she sat in her car and cried, not from sadness, but gratitude. Daniel was the first person she called. That evening, they sat together on a park bench as the sun set. Daniel looked at her and said softly, "I don't know what the future holds, but I know I want to walk toward it with you if you're willing." Elena took a deep breath. She didn't rush. She didn't run. She simply answered with honesty, double quotes, yes. Slowly, love didn't save Elena. Faith did. Faith gave her the strength to stand when no one stood beside her, to believe when nothing made sense, to wait without bitterness. And love arrived when she no longer needed it to survive, only to share her life. Years later, Elena would look back and understand something important. Everyone walking away didn't destroy her. It revealed her. It showed her that her worth was never in people who stayed only when life was easy. It was in her belief, her patience, her quiet courage. She believed when everyone walked away. And because of that, she didn't just rebuild her life, she rebuilt it right.